Alright people, so somebody asked me to do a video on John Kerry, my thoughts on John Kerry, and I'm actually going to turn it into a whole video series, kind of maybe a 2 or 3 or 4 part series, exposing John Kerry as a fucking, just tyrant, pretty much, in a low-life scum, for the most part. So, I got this page here on theissues.org, and I'm going to read through every single fucking one of these things. So here we go. We're going to start off. If you want to follow along, I'll try to remember to put the link in the description. And if you don't, just search John Kerry on the issues into Google and it will pop right up at the first one. So again, the first one is John Kerry on abortion. He criticized the ban on stem cell research. Bush claims no ban. He said, no one undoing constitutional rights, including right of choice. Cannot change Roe v. Wade because of my own faith. Embryos used in stem cell research are not from abortions. Supreme Court justices should be able to make good decisions. We cannot force people to share our faith. Bush allows the destruction of life up to a certain amount. Life begins at conception, but we can't legislate that. Will not appoint justice against Roe while court is 5-4. Kerry staunchly resists restrictions on abortions. Partial birth abortion ban undermine women's right to choose. No criminalization of a woman's right to choose. So again, kind of supporting abortion right here. I think anybody who supports abortions, really I don't like. Again, that's one of the top issues up there with guns. Abortion and guns are two very important issues to me. And really, if there's a politician that supports abortion, it's very hard for me to vote for him. But I mean, I really don't understand where they come from on abortion, because they talk about, oh, it's your right to your body. What? So they think that because you fucking had sex with a fucking man, got pregnant, that's your right to kill a child, kill an unborn child. It's okay, so they say, oh, the body's your property. Okay, so if you took a kid from the street and brought him into your house and said, okay, here's a child, he's in my house, I could shoot him. Boom. The child did not choose to be in your womb. You put him there by having sex. And I don't think, everybody has a right to life. I believe that's in the Declaration of Independence. I believe isn't it in the preamble? I'm not sure. What preamble of the Constitution? It's somewhere in the. I'm not 100. I don't have the Declaration of Independence or Constitution memorized, but I know the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. I think it might be in the preamble of the Constitution. I don't know. It's somewhere though, and we do have a right to life, and I think the right to life includes even an unborn child. All right. And I don't think it matters if they're unborn, if they're in the womb, or if they're, a day old. They have a right to life. And I think it's very sick to want to kill a child like that. And I think it's totally wrong. I think it's murder. And just because they're an unborn child does not mean they're not a child. It's still a child. It's still a human being. And it still will be a human being. Alright. Then he talks about his voting record. It said, yes, Kerry did vote against Lacey Peterson law. I do not know what that is. Kerry was against partial birth abortion, but there are exceptions. So there you go. He was against partial birth abortion. But it said, then he says here, partial birth abortion can undermine women's rights to choose. So he kind of is playing both sides of the fence here. I see a lot of people do that. They play both sides of the fence, like Romney. Voted no on restricting UN funding for population control policies. There you go, people. That's right. So he's voting for the UN to fund population control. That's just great right there. Anybody, top politician who really supports population control is probably a sellout to the New World Order. The New World Order's goal is really to depopulate the country and take over with us as their slaves for the most part. I mean, the New World Order is sick, and John Kerry's probably. I know John Kerry's connected to Skull and Bones, I've heard. So John Kerry's probably a New World Order person. You know, like Alex Jones said, a hatchet man of the New World Order. Um, Voted no on defining unborn child as eligible for SHIP. I do not know what that. Again, I don't know every single fucking thing in politics. Voted no on barring HHS, which is the Health and Human Services, I believe. Voted no on barring Health and Human Services grants to organizations that perform abortion. So, wow. He's saying that Health and Human Services should give money to people who give abortions. So there you go again, kind of playing both sides of the fence. And I do not believe that we should pay for a fucking person's abortion. I don't think we should pay for any health thing. I don't really think. I mean, I don't think the idea of government-run healthcare is I don't think it's a communist idea, but I don't really support it. I support a free market, the capitalist, view on it. But that is fucking retarded. How we should have to pay for a woman's abortion, bullshit. Voted yes on expanding research to more embryonic stem cell lines. Voted no on notifying parents of minors who get out of state abortions. Voted yes on $100 million to reduce teen pregnancy by education and contraceptives. That's the thing though. Teens are gonna have sex. Young people are gonna have sex, alright? No matter how much you say, oh, you're gonna get, STDs, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that. Teens are gonna have sex. And is it really a horrible thing for a teen to have sex as long as it's safe? You're never gonna stop a teenager from having sex in this day and age, I don't think. So I think the best way is to promote condoms, promote contraceptives. And you could call me, I do consider myself a Catholic, but I'm just being a realist here, people. And if you really want to do what's best for society, then yes, promote safer sex, promote, I think, contraceptives, because what would you rather have? A fucking, teenagers getting pregnant all over the place and a bunch of STDs and whatnot, or would you rather have safer sex? That's kind of my view on that. So I guess I kind of agree with him on that. Then, where was I here? Voted no on criminal penalty for harming unborn fetus during other crime. I don't know about that. So if I go and hurt a woman and I hurt the fetus, I guess you can't charge me with another crime. Like, it's not two murders. If I kill a woman, I think, so he's saying that should not be two murders. And I think it should be, actually, because you shouldn't even kill a woman in the first place. So I mean, if you're killing a woman, then you're taking the chance that she could be pregnant. You could be killing the baby inside, which will be a kid one day. So you are killing two people, I think. So I disagree with that. Voted no on maintaining ban on military-based abortions. Again, I don't agree with abortions, so it's stupid. Voted no on banning human cloning. Rated 100% by NARAL, indicating a pro-choice voting record. Expand embryonic stem cell research. Sponsored bill providing contraceptives for low-income women. No. Again, taxpayer money should not be, funding abortions or paying for contraceptives for other people. If they want to get their contraceptives, they have to buy them themselves. I mean, come on, a condom costs what, fucking $1 a piece? I mean, do we really have to give? I mean, we shouldn't. Even if it was $20, we shouldn't be, or $100, we shouldn't be giving it to them. But come on. Where was I here? Sponsored bill for emergency contraception for rape victims. Yeah, I do think once, the sperm meets the egg, and that's definitely going to be a child one day, then I do think that that's the child and you should not abort it. But if the sperm has not meet the egg yet, if it's not If it's not going to be a child, definitely. If you leave it, if you don't do anything, you know, that's kind of my view on it. You know, like with fucking abortion, if you if this being or whatever inside the womb, if this is going to be a child for sure, if you could tell this is the woman's pregnant, it's going to be a child for sure, then no, we should not abort it. But if the stem, you know, I'm not an expert on it, but I think that, you know, once you could tell, you know, once the point comes that this is going to be a child, then that should not be aborted. All right. So yeah, I do agree that, you know, in contraceptives, I do think they should be legal. Um, but I do not think that 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 we should be paying for contraceptives again. Rated 0% by the NRLC, indicating a pro-choice stance. Provide emergency contraception at military facilities. Protect the reproductive rights of women. Yeah, I mean, women should be able to reproduce. But they should not be able to kill their child if they reproduce their child. Or if they reproduce, you know, and they kill their child, they should not be able to kill this child in the womb. Ensure access to and funding for contraception. Again, the free market should pay for that, not taxpayers. You know, the woman should pay for her own shit. Focus on preventing pregnancy plus emergency contraception. See, I don't want to take it too far where we're promoting people not to have children, but I want to, you know, say that promote contraceptives a little bit and say, you know, don't use contraceptives, use them correctly. Emergency contraception at all military health facilities. So there you go, people. I'm going to end this video here because I don't want to, you know, go too far. And again, I will cover all these issues that John Kerry is talking about because I know John Kerry is a pretty evil person. So I think it's necessary to expose him as a fraud and as a low-life scumbag. So there you go, people. John Kerry is pretty much for abortion, which in my mind already makes him a low-life scumbag. So there you go, people.